problem 5, which is exercise 110 in the book, again is asking you to refer back to the information that was in exercise 1.7 in your book. And at this point, you probably know these numbers better than your home address. Anyhow, first thing it asks us, it says, what is the incremental manufacturing cost if the company increases production from 20,000 to 20,001? Incremental. How much more is it going to cost us to make one more unit? Well, to make one more unit, we're going to need direct materials. So we're going to need that $7. Use black, it shows up better. We're going to need the $7 of direct materials, because you can't make something without something. We're going to need the direct labor. That's $4. And we're going to need the variable manufacturing overhead. They're all the costs that vary by making more units. Making, not selling, making more units. So, the cost to make one more unit, $12.50. And not to put too fine a point on it, if it were 2 more units, it would be $25. If it were 3 more units, it would be $37.50, etc., etc. The incremental costs are just the cost to make one more anything. Now, the next question, it says, what are the incremental costs incurred if it increases production and sales? So now we have the direct materials are still $7. We have the direct labor, which are still $4. We have the variable overhead, which is still $1.50. None of this has changed. We have sales commission, which is $1 per unit. So for every unit we sell, we pay $1 to our salesperson. We have our variable admin expense of 50 cents. So the cost to make and sell one more unit. Remember, this was to make one more unit. This is to make and sell one more unit. Is our old friend $14, the number that we have seen so many times before. Now, the next two questions are getting towards what we have to talk about in this course, what makes it interesting. They tell us, or they ask us, what happens if they produce 20,000 units? So they've already produced the 20,000 units, and these are the costs for those 20,000 units. And they expect to sell 19,800. So they have 200 units that they've already made sitting in a warehouse. They're just sitting there. And it wants to know, what is the incremental manufacturing cost incurred to sell these units? Now, you could want to go all kinds of nutso crazy over this and do all kinds of machinations, but the simple answer is this: they're already made. They're sitting there. They're finished goods inventory. So there are no manufacturing costs associated. The only cost associated with these would be the opportunity cost of not selling them. So the variable cost involved for those 200 units are all sunk costs. Then the next thing it says, and this is part 4, it says assume that they produce 20,000 units, expect to sell 19,800, excuse me, if a new customer emerges and wants to buy the 200 extra units that have been produced, what incremental selling and admin costs will be incurred? So we're selling these units, they're sitting on the shelf. We're not making anything, we're not packaging anything. We're just saying, there they are, go pick them up, get them, give us your money, leave. Don't leave sad, just leave, okay? So what are the costs? We have the sales commission, because somebody has to write up the sale. And we have the variable administrative expense. And the cost for each one is $1.50 per unit times the 200 units that would otherwise be unsold. So the problem really wasn't that long. You just had to be able to read through it and recognize what they were asking.